Hey everyone, welcome back to the Grant Mitt podcast, episode number 152. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the power of a positive environment and how to choose the right environment and also curate your own environment to produce the absolute best life you can ever imagine and manifest and attract miracles. And if you guys are longtime listeners of this podcast, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit the like button. Write a comment below every time you do. It pushes it out to the algorithm to help more and more people. I can't thank you enough for sharing this with friends and family. We have listeners in over 139 countries, which is incredible. And it's an honor to make content for you guys every single day and every single week. So let's talk about the value of an environment. Every environment that we enter, we start collecting energy that starts to rub off on us. Now, just because you go to a negative environment one time doesn't mean your entire life is going to change. I'll give you an example. You know, when you go to a hospital or maybe a funeral or some type of really chaotic or negative environment, do you notice that when you leave, you almost kind of feel drained or even sometimes sick? You just don't feel the same. You're like, man, I don't ever want to go there. I don't know about you guys. I don't like going to hospitals. I don't like seeing sick people everywhere. So I have so much respect for people in the medical field. Just not my thing. And after a couple hours, you kind of start kind of relaxing, once you've left. And by the next day, you're pretty much back to normal. But what it slowly is happening is you're absorbing that energy and it's slowly changing. In the contrary, think about when you've gone to just the best restaurant in your city, a really great area, maybe a vacation. You know, the vacation, those memes where someone's looking over the balcony and you're sitting there thinking, how can I make this my reality? How can I make this my life every single day? And you come home energized and focused. And for that next week, you're just hitting on all cylinders, in your work, in your relationships, and your just overall well-being. Why does that happen? You're absorbing that energy. Now, how do we get proactive about this and not only take early measured steps now to build a better environment, but over the next few years, really curate a space that produces the best version of yourself and helps you achieve your goals and miracles? Well, the first step is to be extremely conscious about who you want to become. Now, you don't want to overthink this. Like attracts like. Wealthy people hang out with wealthy people. Suburban people hang out with suburban people. People that are building things from scratch. Like, for example, Silicon Valley entrepreneurs. Like, I have friends that are building out there and they'll all 3, 4, 5 of them live on blow-up mattresses and they'll go out and build these huge companies, right? So like-minded people surround themselves with certain people, but they also listen to, go to, and actually take action in a very similar way. So if we want to become like a specific person, obviously you got to have your own identity, but if you want to have a level of success that a certain individual has, start from the end and work backwards. It doesn't take an interview. You don't have to pay for them for consulting or anything. Like, you could, that would definitely help. But you could just simply figure out, where does this person like to go eat? Where do they live? Who are they around? How do they dress? What books are they reading? What are they saying in their interviews? And absorb their energy into you. You can actually do this. All right? No different than you watch like a really messed up movie. You might feel messed up after. A really motivational movie, you're going to feel very motivational after. You can do this with people or groups of people as well. And then the key is to start going to the places that those type or that person, don't be a stalker, but the types of places that those people go. All right? And what you're trying to do is become so consistent at this that your baseline frequency, your baseline energy that you normally operate, let's say it's right here and it's at 300 hertz. You want to get it to 700 hertz, let's just say. And let's say at that level, that frequency has multimillionaires, successful business people, world changers, elite athletes, people that are doing philanthropy all over the world and impacting millions of lives. Let's say they're at 700 hertz. You need to go to places, consume content, consume music that operates at 700 hertz. And every time you choose to spend time around people or environments that are at, let's say, 300 or 400, that baseline frequency that you live at is going to drop. This is why our habits really matter. That's why I always tell people The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy is such a great book to continually listen to or read. It's free online. You can find it somewhere. And it talks about the power of small actions over and over again. And it shows the difference between how two people could live a very similar life, but only do one thing different, and 10 years down the line, end up in a completely different space. One person can listen to a positive audiobook every single morning while driving to work, and the other person could listen to music. But because that person was changing their focus, the ripple effects into their marriage and their friends and getting promoted and money and investing change forever. The environment is just like this. Look, guys, when you get around winners, you don't even have to talk to them. I encourage it, but just the environment will change the way you think about things. I made a video today, and I was talking about how just seeing it, truly, like this podcast is great. It's going to get your mind right. It's going to get your frequency high, but you got to go do it in person, right? And I can tell you these things and you can feel good. But if you don't, let's say you want a Ferrari or you want to, be able to afford the best hotels or the best homes. If you never actually see it and know that it's real, let your brain know that, wow, okay, like these are actual human beings with faults, with stress, with anxiety, with pressure, that have a mansion that is bigger than you can imagine, or a business that you can, like you just couldn't even believe. And they could buy a car like this, and it's the same difference as you buying a Chipotle burrito. When you see it with your eyes and you realize these people are no better or no smarter than you, something changes. Just seeing that it is possible eliminates that small thinking. It makes you go, you know what? This person is sharp, but maybe you're better. Maybe you're more talented. There's nothing, talent-wise that they have that you don't. So why can't you do it? And sometimes that's enough. Now, when you start experiencing the pure pressure of an elevated environment, you're going to start moving differently. Things that used to be a big deal to you become nothing, become borderline embarrassing. In fact, I would chase environments, if I was you, that make you realize that you are not doing enough. And this is how you expand your thinking and accomplish the things that you want to. Look, we all can't control what families we grew up in, what our mom and dad did, how much money, they had, what home we grew up in or neighborhood. But if you're alive, you have a purpose. And this big, beautiful world has a lot of opportunities. And if we can't find it, it is our fault. We can't control how we're born, but we can control what we're doing. So let's talk about a 3-step process to creating and intentionally going to an environment that is going to put you in the right rooms with the right people and ultimately build the right success. Okay. The first thing is proximity is power. All right. By just associating yourself with the right people, opportunities will come. Opportunities will come. If you want to be a politician, you need to become friends with people in politics. If you want to be a content creator, you need to be friends with other content creators. If you want to be a startup founder, look on a map, get on the internet and find out where the hell are all the startup founders in America or in the world. If you're international, okay, Dubai. If you're in America, Miami, San Francisco, Austin, New York. You're like, let's go there. Let's meet them. Let's join clubs. Let's talk to people. Let's go to the best restaurants. Let's go to the sporting events. Let's do whatever. Let's connect on social media. But be around people who think the same as you think or you want to get to and what you want to think about. Okay, just that alone will change the conversations, will change the focus, and it will put you towards the right trajectory. The second thing is there's this movie called Limitless. Bradley Cooper stars in it. And it's about this pill. It's an imaginary pill. Heck, it could be true, but I haven't found it yet. If y'all find it, tell me. Where basically it allows humans to access 100% of their brain. And at the initial part of the story, he was dating this beautiful woman, and he was a total loser. He was a writer, and he couldn't get past writer's block. And he looked rough. His hair was messed up. His apartment was a total mess, and he was just a complete and total loser until the girlfriend finally left him. And honestly, she probably should have. He takes this pill. Next thing you know, within 24 hours, he locks in. One of the first things he does, it was the second thing, the first thing you could watch the movie. His entire apartment was a mess. He cleaned it front to back. He made it absolute spotless. Okay, that was the first thing he did. The second thing he did is he started writing that book, and he finished it completely. Then he started figuring out how he could make money. It's when he started looking at trading. Then he got access to capital. He started making tons of money there. He changed his wardrobe. He stopped hesitating and being nervous when he was around people. He had his own identity, and he spoke with certainty. He didn't hesitate. And what his brain started doing is not only referencing things that he had seen on a movie or a book randomly, but it started absorbing information faster. Now, I realize that we don't necessarily have the limitless pill, but books, podcasts, and the internet, and now ChatGPT is giving us the ability to absorb all of the information we need necessary to become who we want to become. And here's the trick. If the average person reads 3 books a year and you read 30, and we're not counting podcasts and everything, your rate of learning is a 10-to-1 ratio compared to them. And let's just assume you're the same level of intelligence when you're probably more capable because you're like, man, I want to learn, so you're probably more intelligent. That means their 10 years is your 100. Their 1 year is your 10 years. Think about the rate of progress and return that you will have compared to the average person. It will be drastic. So while we can't take the limitless pill, we can clean our house. It costs $0 to do it. We may not all be able to afford the nicest gyms. If you can, do it because it's a positive environment. It's a great investment. It's free to do push-ups. We can't all afford the best food in the world. Most of you guys are very successful and can. But if you have a calorie deficit, you're not going to get fat. Okay? The internet is generally free. Okay, you can go sit at Starbucks. You can sit at McDonald's. You can sit at a library. Learn as much as you can. Go to the environments that produce success. 2 weeks ago, I was having a couple weird days, like 2-3 days, where I just felt like I was in a funk. And I changed 2 things. I started listening to my favorite book, and I went and worked at a 5-star hotel. And I kid you not, problems I was having just suddenly got fixed. Opportunities just started jumping out of trees, literally, just random things. I felt energized, I felt relaxed, I felt certain. You can do the same thing too, but you have to protect your space. Okay, 3 is curate your own environment to the highest level. I'm going to give you a couple examples. The first thing that's so important is keep your place spotless, pristine, and orderly. Okay, with this, you could do this with a robot vacuum. You could do this with being disciplined. You can do this with decorating your home to make it look like nice. You know, 5-10 grand invested in a condo or an apartment, you can make it look like a designer place. You know, you can copy things online. And you want to enter the space feeling present, feeling calm, and you want to never speak negativity or even cry in your home. Because when you release that negative energy into your home, I realize we're all human, but when you're releasing that negativity into your room, that is the negative space that you're living in. But if you wake up and speak favor over your life, I have a dog. I'll give you an example. This sounds so corny, but I literally give affirmations to my dog. I tell him he's a genius every day. I tell him that he's potty trained. And I swear to God, it works. Because if you know anything about plants, if you guys don't know this, ChatGPT this or Google this. When you speak positively to plants and trees, they actually grow faster. When you speak negatively to them, they die or they stay very small. So why would it be different with a dog? And why would it be different with a human? In fact, study was just released that our cells can actually listen to us now, which means your words can make you sick or they can make you healthy. Your words can literally, your cells, you talk about how they replace each other fully 100% every 7 years, which means what you're saying to yourself, what environment you're in, what frequency you live in, and what you eat and how you take care of your body is what the next 7 years of your life is going to look like. My advice to you is to choose it. I may be saying things that are different than what you want, right? I'm speaking in generalities here, right? But when you truly know what you want and you're disciplined in the way that you're doing the right things to help you achieve it, just in the first year, you're going to elevate so quickly just because the bulk of the world is just going through life reacting to one problem after the next problem after the next problem. Just knowing what you want, curating your environment, being disciplined, and feeding your mind with the right information gives you the competitive advantage. You've already beat 99% of people just at that. And then that's when you can get to the next level and really acquire the resources and the leverage to become the person that you want to become. So I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Real quick, guys, if you didn't already, please leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Also, guys, if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for guidance and you'd like to work with me, there's a link below, grantmittconsulting.com. Just book a quick call there or DM me the word scale on Instagram. Other than that, guys, I'm rooting for y'all. Please have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys again for episode 153. Bye, guys. Have an incredible week. Bye, guys.